Okay, we're going to dive right into this, and I am going to show you how I make these beautiful covers for my LinkedIn carousel posts. Um, you may be out there trying to figure out how all these people do it. Well, I actually just sat down and did a lot of work, a lot of playing. I took some notes from a few YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff that you probably do yourself. But let me tell you what I came up with, because I was pretty impressed, because I am not an expert marketer by any means, but I've gotten LinkedIn profile, and creating good covers was really, really a big deal. And so I'm super proud of this one, and I wanted to show you guys how I made it. So it's actually very simple, and it uses Canva. You're going to need a Canva account. You're going to need Ideogram, and I believe you can have the free version. I do have a paid version of it, but I think you have some credits you can play with. So for this tutorial, you can do that. And then I use ChatGPT. I have a custom GPT that you will also have the chance to get. I'll have the link below in this video that actually helps write my image prompts. So I will show you all how to do this. And so if you click on this, this is what I'm after, is the cover. I can show you the inside of the carousel post. It's actually a post on free AI courses that you can take if you're a local business owner, small business, solo entrepreneur, that sort of thing. And it just walks you through. I went through a bunch of this the other day, and they had some really, really good courses for businesses, especially if you don't know anything about AI. So I wanted to note that. I wanted to tell people, like, here's my top 6 that I would recommend. And I've been doing this for a really long time. So anyway, so I kind of went through there. It's not a fancy post, carousel post. It's not very fancy, but it is functional, and it does provide a lot of value. So, if you were somebody that didn't know anything about OpenAI, and you didn't know anything about ChatGPT and all that kind of fun stuff, this would be really helpful, right? So let's get back to how you do this, and I'll show you by going to Canva. So let's go ahead and start here in Canva. So you're going to go here to your homepage, and you're going to completely kind of this is kind of an over the shoulder kind of walkthrough, so that you can know exactly how to do this. So I'm on my homepage of Canva. I'm going to go to create. Now you can go LinkedIn carousel post here, but it's a little bit different pixel configuration than I like to use. So I'll actually go a little bigger than that. That's what the one is you just saw. So I'm going to come down here and go to custom size. And I'm actually going to use this 1350 by 1080. I believe that's what it is. No, see, I did it wrong. It's the opposite way. It's actually, let me go back. It's actually 1080 by 1350. Let's see if that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay. Now, a couple things right away I'm going to tell you. And I have a few notes on here on the side, so please forgive me if I'm looking and look like I'm looking at a piece of paper, because I am. Again, I'm not a professional YouTuber either. I just want to provide you with value and show you how to do this, because there is so many things to get through when you're trying to deal with AI and marketing and all that sort of stuff, that I don't really care if these videos are polished and fancy and things like that. They're real. And this is just me, and this is how I am. And I go a million miles an hour, so please stay with me. I think I have a little bit of ADHD or something, because I'm all over the place. But anyways, I'll maintain the task at hand here. One of the first things I want you to do, and this was super important, is you see, once you get on this screen here, do you see this line here? I want you to go up here. You're going to go into the file section. You're going to click on settings, and you're going to see this here, show margins. I want you to check mark that box, because if you don't, it's going to look like this. Okay. And you're not going to have as good of a visual guide as if you have the margins on. It just makes your cover image of your LinkedIn post look that much better. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on. Now, what you're going to do when you're doing, this is one thing that always killed me, is what font should I use on the headline? Because I would look at all these really pretty LinkedIn posts, covers, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? Well, I kind of figured that out. So I want you to, first we're going to add, we're going to go ahead and add a heading here to start. And I want you to note these three fonts that you're going to use for heading. And this is what I used in that post that I just showed you over here. Actually, let me go back just so you can see again how nice it looks. This is what I used over here. Okay. You're going to use either Anton, okay, or you're going to use Bison, or you are going to use one called August. Now, these are, you do have to have the pro edition of Canva. These aren't free. Well, at least there was a couple premium ones in there. But anyways, the reason you're using this is they're tall fonts. I don't know how else to call them, but they're tall fonts. And you can kind of see how they're just, it's nice with the setup of an actual LinkedIn post. So I think I had chosen Anton on the first one that I did, but we can do a different one. Let's use this August one is a little, I like it, but you know, and you're gonna increase these a little bit, but you know, I don't know. We can try that one. So anyway, so let's use this one for our post here. So you're gonna have your headline here. And let's say I was doing a post on the top 10. I'm going to do top 10, and then I'm going to copy this. SEO blog writing tools. I'm going to say SEO blog writing AI tools. Okay, so this can be something like this. I'm going to make this a little smaller right here. And you can mess around with this however you want, but I'm just letting you know this right here was just alone. Knowing what this was, this font was killing me. And I finally figured it out. And now I'm super excited about it. And you may want to even make this bold like that. Now, if you notice, what I was doing is you want to make sure, one rule of thumb when you're building these these Canva images is make sure that the text stays within these margin lines. You'll see everything that I do on this thing right here, on this cover that we're going to make, is within the margin lines. The graphic that we put on the front, not so much. Doesn't really matter. Okay. But it's the text that we want to be nice and easy to read. And I'm going to leave that like that. And so that's the biggest thing right there. Text, Anton, Bison, or August. Use those. Next thing, let's talk about brand colors. Branding is important if you're trying to brand your business. You know, you want to kind of keep in those same colors. My branding is over here. These are my colors right here. So I'm just going to pick, I have like it's like a navy blue. It's like a dark blue or it's purple, it's this dark blue, or it's this teal, right? So I'm gonna do, let's do this one. Okay, I really like that one. This dark, it's like a navy blue. So I'm gonna do this. So you add your color on there. Now, when you're adding color to your cover, you want to keep it very minimal, meaning you only want a maximum of 2 colors. So I'm going to keep this navy blue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do white as well, probably white or something else. So I'm going to add a couple elements. If you look at this one, it's one color, right? With this kind of really cool, like highlight looking thing in the back. I'll show you how I make that because that's super cool too. I know these things are simple, but unless somebody shows you how to do it, it's can be baffling. So you're going to go to elements, and I used this one right here. What you're typing in is, I think I typed in like a circle gradient. Yes, you see down here where it says recent. I was doing a bunch of work the other day. You're going to type in the circle gradient. Now you don't have to use that one. If you see here these graphics or photos, if you go to see all, I just pulled out of here, right? Now what's nice is there's all kinds of different ones you can use. Like this one, I could keep it like this. I'll pull it down, I'll pull it a little bit like this, right? And look at what it did. Okay, so it looks pretty much the same exact thing as my other one, but I did that. I can change this color. Let's see what happens if I go to blue. See, now it completely changed it, right? I kind of like that. Looks different enough. Not exactly the same as my other one, but, or I could go this. Ooh, that's cool. I really like that. I'm leaving that one. Okay. So just mess around with it a little bit. But again, over here, graphics, go to gradient, type gradient circle, and have some fun because there's all kinds of them like that. So you can see just all kinds of really neat ones. But I'm going to leave it here for simplicity purposes today. So that right there is where we're at. If you look, and I'm going to drag this over here so we can kind of compare. You can see we have that, our background set already, like our color set, right? So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a cool image like this. And we're going to use Ideogram to do it. I love Ideogram. A couple reasons. Number one, it's quick, it's fast, it's efficient, and they give you 4 different renditions of whatever you describe in here, like without even asking. So, and it's cheap, it's affordable. I think I'm on their, I don't know what plan I'm on. I believe it's like the $8 a month plan. I mean, it's really cheap. Now, as you use more images, I mean, I use a lot of different images. Like I love Flux Pro. That's one of my favorites. And then, of course, Nano Banana just came out. So that I'm beginning to do a lot of work with that, but don't have the confidence yet, but I'm doing a lot of work with that. So I know that it's going to quickly become a big part of my image creation. Midjourney, of course, that's been around. I still love Midjourney. So anyways, Ideogram, though, the reason I like it is because this is a perfect example. It, just like ChatGPT 4.0's image model came out, the biggest thing about that model was that it could actually write text, right? The text overlays that you see on all these graphics. If you typed in, please put the word feel good mood over the little character, whatever this little character is, it will write feel good mood instead of doing that alphabet soup it used to do. Ideogram does that also just as good or better than ChatGPT 4.0 image model does. So I love this one because when you're doing marketing, like what we're doing, you typically have things like this, right? People use Ideogram. If you're not familiar with it, people will use Ideogram to do logos. You know, here's an example of a logo. I mean, you look at some of the creation. I mean, look at this one, art and pictures on the internet, right? Now this didn't work down here. They had a little bit of problems down there, you can see. But my point is these type of headline stuff like this, you can't beat the text overlay accuracy. Okay. So Ideogram is our image generation tool. And you're probably, next thing is we're going to have to create a prompt up here to describe the type of image we want. Now, I will tell you, well, let me go ahead and do that and then I'll come back to this. But there's a really cool upgrade that just came out with Ideogram and it's right here in this style. You don't have to worry about any kind of styling anymore. You can actually click here. Like, I am not an expert at image generation. I mean, I know prompt engineering really well, context engineering, I should say, really, really well. That's my specialty lies. And it's important because it's going to obviously bleed over. If without prompt engineering skills, you're not going to know how to prompt in any of these other generative AI models, like these text to image models. So my advice is learn how to prompt first. But the styling is the hardest part, has always been the hardest part. I mean, I don't know what that style is. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what that style is, right? So they have got a bunch of cool styles already pre-programmed in here, and they didn't have this before. So you can actually put your prompt in, use this as a reference style image, and then your image will come back like that. So you'll see when we do it in a second. So I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I'm super excited about this part. So now I don't have to think about my style very much. Now, if you don't want any of these styles, obviously this isn't going to work for you. And I can show you how you can do the styling in the next, in the prompt that I show you. So I built a custom GPT. I build a lot of them. We're going to go over to it right now. The good news is I'm going to give you the opportunity to get this Picasso Penny. I call her Picasso Penny. In the links below, I'll put this link to the below. I use Picasso Penny every single day. It's a custom GPT I created to create any image prompt that I want that I can put into these, a Midjourney or an Ideogram or a Flux Pro. So here's what I'm going to do. All you're going to do is you're coming here and you say, create an image prompt. Okay. It's going to go, great, I'm ready. Okay. Now I don't even read this anymore. I can't even, okay. But it's going to ask you for things like time of the day, visual mood, real photographer, camera distance, any specific gear. So if you're more advanced and you know all of these things, and I do have a guide somewhere. I should probably try to find it, connect it to below to this video, but there is, I have a database, I know, of styles somewhere. I believe I have it in a Notion template. If I find it again, I'll connect it for you guys and share it with you. But all this kind of stuff, a lot of times I don't know enough. Would literally need to go through pages to figure out exactly what I want. So anyways, what I'm going to do here is all you're going to do is you're kind of going to do a brain dump here. And you're going to say, well, in this case, I'm going to tell it, I am doing a LinkedIn cover image for my Carousel post about, I can say about the top 10 SEO blog writing AI tools or something like that. I need an image prompt. Here's something that I do. I need an image prompt that will work well in Ideogram. I always tell it I need an image prompt to work well in Midjourney or Flux Pro or ChatGPT image model 4.0. You know, I tell it where it is because there's slight differences in the prompting techniques that you're going to use for each separate model. Okay. And this Picasso Penny knows that, and it will customize it, you know, and lean a little bit towards that, you know, style of prompting. So, I will also tell it if there's something I don't want. It's been pretty good. I have never really had to say, don't do this or don't do that, but let's go ahead and see what it does, what it gives me here. I'm going to do this also. My target market is solopreneurs. I'll just put that on there because that'll give it a little bit more context. But again, the more context you can give it, the better. Like, for example, I could tell it a blog writing, think of blog writing, think about the environment. You know, you're probably sitting at a desk at a computer writing your blog post, right? Or it's probably going to come up with that, I'm guessing. But let's go ahead and I just gave it natural language and I just put it in there and watch what it does. Okay. Look at this beautiful prompt we got. Let's look at the first one, and then it gives you two options. So this is a workspace and AI assistant symbolism. Photo of a sleek minimalist home office setup with a modern laptop, open to a content editor, floating holographic icons. That's what this wants to do. Representing AI, blog post writing, SEO, analytics, hovering above a desk, high resolution digital photography inspired by clean tech visuals of Wes Anderson, and then it goes into the camera angles, whatever. Now, with Picasso Penny, it wants to write images for Flex Pro because I remember when I wrote it, now that I think about it, I did it more towards that, and it's trying to give you a more realistic image. So I'm going to tell it, even because any time you write with tech or you talk about AI, it's going to give you some kind of holographic or futuristic type of style. And I don't want that, actually. I don't like that. So I'm going to give it a negative prompt. Please redo prompt. I don't want any futuristic or holographic styling. It doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be photorealistic either, because photorealistic, what photorealistic is it's basically a, like if you were to take a real photo of somebody, because a lot of times in business, that's what we want. It's almost like a stock image, but you're creating the stock image, right? So it's like that. So let's see what it say. Desk flat lay metaphor. Flat lay illustration of solopreneurs, tidy desk workspace with spiral notebook, top SEO blog post tools. Ooh, that's cool. Mug pen, smartphone. Okay. Minimal semi-realistic illustration of solo entrepreneurs sitting at the desk by the window, floating thumbnails. Okay. I like the second one better. So anyways, you get the idea. You can play around with this. Again, I'll give you this link below. I'm going to copy this and watch what I'm going to do here, because this is really important. We're going to go back to Ideogram, and I'm going to go to, you can put this prompt in just like that, just cut and paste it. And now I'm going to go to style. And now I'm going to choose what style that I want. So auto, no, we don't want that. General, okay. So this is interesting. I'm just trying to see what is ideal for vector style, like logos, t-shirts, realistic textures and lighting, general. Okay. Style presets. These are modes. These are presets. So you want to go down to the presets, or you can even upload. Let's say you find an image that you really, really like, you can actually upload it here too. So I'm not going to do that. We might do that in a quick little video on Ideogram's new style mode. But so I'm going to go choose something fun down here. This is kind of fun. I don't know what that's going to produce, but we just don't know. So we'll have to, you got to test, right? Everything's about testing. So I'm going to come down here. Let's see. Which one do I like? Because again, I am posting something. You are posting. If you're posting on Business One. Oh, I found this one the other day. I think that was pretty cool. Did I use this one? Mixed media. I may have used that one on that post. Interesting. Riviera Pop. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one again. I think that is the one I used. Let's use this one. I want to experiment with this. Okay, so I gave it an image model style to reference. Now, you can also come in here and add your colors. I have not done that yet. This is where you would add your brand colors. But I think I'm going to go with, and again, you're going to want to make it look, again, you're going to come back here. If I look at this, I probably want a bright color, especially with social media stuff. I'm probably going to, I don't know if I want that because it might be too close. I need some contrasting colors. So this, either this one or this one. Let's try this one. Okay, I'm going to do that and I'm going to go generate. Now, there's a character in here and you can even put characters in here and try to create them. That's me and my husband, by the way. But not for this one. We don't need it. Now, so we'll just wait a minute. It actually goes pretty fast, but I actually am on the Pro plan as well too. So it should hopefully go quicker. And yeah, it is. So it doesn't matter. It'll generate 4 images. Here they are. Let's go ahead and come over here. So over here, you go to creations and you can see them. And here it is. And you're going to want to pick the best one out of all of them. And I actually don't like any of them. I'm going to be honest with you. So I don't like that one. I'm going to come back here. Let's try it again. I'm going to go back here. Just do it again. That's what AI is all about. And I'm not sure, those are really bright. I'm going to go here. The style didn't turn out the way I thought it would. Because here's the issue, not the issue. Let's go here. You'll see what we're going to do. The background doesn't really matter when we get the photo that we like, because we're going to remove the background when we get it back into Canva. So let's see what we got over here. Oh, much better. Okay. Perfect. Ooh, look at this. Top 10 SEO blog tools. Love it. Oh, that one's good too. And I'm thinking about the fact that we're going to be removing the background. Let's go with this one. Okay, so I'm going to download this. Download it to my desktop. There it is there. I'm coming back over. So see, you can tell what you know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to come over here to Canva. I'm going to go to uploads. I'm going to grab that file off of my computer. Spiral notebook. I'm going to upload. And then I'm going to put it in here. And then here's the trick. And I don't know if how much you use Canva, but here's what you do. And I don't know what it's going to remove in here, so we'll try it. You're going to go background removal. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. See what it did? It removed everything that it considered the background. And now I've got this beautiful little image here. Now you can position it however you want. Because there's writing here and there's writing here, I don't really, sometimes I overlay. If you're not familiar with Canva, you can actually take this and you see this positioning tool. I can move it back or forward, right? So I could actually move this. See how it's on top right now? Let's say I wanted it to be in the back. I would just go back. You see, and now this image is over on top of this verbiage. So anyways, so let me move that back here. Okay, so let me reposition. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Now, again, remember I told you the image, it doesn't matter. It can bleed outside of that margin line. I think I want to pull it maybe like this, because there's the top right there. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So we're almost done. So we got the image, and then here's the other part that's that I never even really thought of, never even knew. I just always, again, was like, how do they do that? There's one more last step we're going to do before we download this, and we're going to add another element. We're going to add one more element. So you're going to come back over here, and instead of circle gradient, you're going to type grainy. I put grainy texture background. That's what I put. You can put, or grainy texture. You can do that. Because watch, we're going to do this. So you're going to go to graphics. You're going to go to see all. And you're just going to add a little bit of texture on top of this, because that's what makes the very final touches and polishing it off. So let me kind of show you. And we can experiment with this. It's really cool because this already has some texture to it, which I really like that. But let's just see what this one does. Okay, you see this, and I'm going to pull this here, and you just pull it all the way across. Now, what I can do, because this is so dark, I'd probably change this to white. Okay. And then right here, this is a very cool tool. I think a lot of people miss this, but watch this. The transparency, I'm going to lighten it a little bit. See how it adds just like a little bit of a fine, like a little, it makes it look more authentic. Okay. So look at how nice, and that's it. That's my cover. Or let's try this. Let's go over here. I just duplicated this. So let's try another texture or another element over here. Let's go with, looks good. Let's try this. What is this? That's interesting. It's really light. Like you really can't even hardly tell it's there. I mean, that's how it should be in a sense. Again, you're on these textures elements, on the grainy textures, you're really going to want to close this down at least to like half, if not more. Like I'm down to 27. I mean, when I get around there, it gets a little. Okay, so there you go. There's that one. There's that one. See, I even think I like this one better. That's a little bit too much, I think. So you kind of just play around with this. I copied it again. I'm going to remove this one. And I'm just doing it for you. I don't usually copy these. I will just cut and paste and take it. Let's see what else we got down here. Wow, we got all kinds of, I mean, this is what's so much fun about this, you guys. Just play around with this. Super cool. Look at this one. Again, I'm going to put that to white. It seems to be white's better. So this is one. What happens when I pull it? Oh, wow. So this is coming out of a corner. So it looks like it needs to be kind of like, yeah, that one won't probably work. But anyways, you get kind of what I'm doing. But there you have it. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful cover for your next LinkedIn post? Now, if you're probably going, well, yeah, Lisa, that's great, but it's just the cover. Well, the cover is the most important part, number one. But all I did to create the next few pages is, and we can just, actually, I'm going to delete this one because I don't like this one. This is my favorite one. I'm going to just come in here. I'm going to duplicate the page. And guess what? I'm just going to start deleting these elements out of here. Well, not this one, actually. That one's going to stay. But you're going to really delete this. Obviously, you don't want that. And then however you want to design, now you're going to get to work at designing your, your whatever your carousel post is about. A lot of times I like to put a number like the number 1 or something, right? And then you can come in here and I'll probably add like a circle. You can do something fun like this to try to match, or you can contrast. Like this is kind of cool. I don't know how that would look, but yeah, that looks kind of cool. But I would do something like this at the top or wherever it looks best. And start making your internal page kind of templates. And when you're doing your internal pages, you are also, just like I said in the beginning, I showed you in the beginning, you are still going to use any kind of headings that you do. You're still going to want to use Anton, Bison, or August for the things. So if I'm doing this one's a top 10 SEO blogging tools, right? I actually might come in here like this and go number 1, right? And then come over here and it'll be like, I personally love SEO or Surfer SEO. So I might do this, right? So there's your title. Again, you're going to mess around with that. Oh, I got to pull my frame. Now, sometimes these layers get a little crazy because, see, I can't grab, and I probably can, I just don't know how, but I can't grab this text. I have to move this off a little bit over while I'm working with this text. And then I come back over here and then I move it back when I'm ready, when I'm done. And then Surfer SEO, I might put a little summary. As a matter of fact, it's a post that I'm going to have to, carousel post, I'm going to have to do fairly shortly. But yeah, so, oops. That's my little circle there. See, what I'm telling you, it gets a little bit, there's my gradient. Pull it back over there. Yeah, so that's how you create beautiful Canva post images or covers. And I'm going to tell you something before we go. Nobody ever taught me that, until I finally found somebody, a couple different videos. I was like, I've got to learn how to do this. I picked up some things from ChatGPT. I did some reverse engineering. I would put like a post in there, like a cover that I liked. And I would say, tell GPT to reverse engineer a prompt that would create the background colors and things like that, or the style. And it's so all of that came into play, and it was a fantastic way to learn. And I went through a lot, but here it is. I'm giving it to you all in all my hours of figuring it out. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Like and subscribe. You know, I always got to ask you that. But other than that, I hope you learned a lot from this session, and we'll see you on the next one.